Friendship Village. Hey, how are you today? This is the voice of Friendship Village radio broadcast coming at you. We're here to share the news and the views of things that are important at Friendship Village. And I'm one of your hosts, Phil Porter, and my co-host is
Mary Craven. Welcome.
Hey, thanks. Hey, let's call this our inaugural radio broadcast.
The first of many.
The first of many. There. Hey, that's the first of many. Yes. And we want you to know that this program is brought to you by the maintenance crew at Friendship Village. They do so much for us. And so if you've got a leaky sink, or you got a lamp that won't turn on, or whatever the project might be, our maintenance crew is there to look after it, get it fixed, and do it in a friendly sort of way. These are really friendly guys, don't you think, Mary?
They are a very good crew. I've had them here many times. You just put your work order in at the front desk. They pick up the work orders and they come tapping on your door, and they'll fix whatever is wrong. And I've had many things wrong, as do many of the residents, but they're very kind and gracious, and they come in and do their job.
Wow.
And we highly thank them.
Yeah, that's quite a testimony. All right, good. So keep up the good work, maintenance crew. And it's time for a joke. Mary, do you have a joke? I have a joke I want to share, but why don't you go first?
All right, I'll tell my joke first.
All right.
What did the left eye say to the right eye?
This I say to the right eye. I have no idea.
Between you and me, something smells.
I got it. Okay, here's one. Did you hear about the dentist and the manicurist who got married? Friends say their marriage was really in trouble right from the start because they fought tooth and nail.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We got some good ones. Keep listening.
And that just reminds us, we want this to be an audience participation program. So if you have any good jokes out there, be sure and let us know. Just drop it off at your local front desk, and we'll get our hands on it and might include it in this show. And if we do get a joke from somebody out there and we use it on the program, we will surely acknowledge and give your name for it, and so people can thank you next time they see you. So,
or if you're in our hallway, you can drop it in Phil's box or my box. We're always receptive to receiving mail.
Amen. Yes. Amen. And, part of the nature of our program is not only to bring you some news and views and maybe a joke or two, but also just to interview some people of importance. And, I guess you don't have to be really important. But today, on our inaugural program, we thought we'd do things just a bit different. Rather than having an outsider come in to interview, we thought we might interview each other, and or one another. Which one's correct, Mary? Is it each other or one another?
One or the other. One and the other.
One and the other.
Whatever.
Okay. Let's see, you used to be a teacher, didn't you?
I was a paraeducator in 2 different schools for about 20 years.
Okay.
I worked in 2 different towns that we lived in. I worked with the school system. I enjoyed working with kids. And plus, I also taught piano lessons after school to many children over 20-some years also.
Okay. Now, when I think of the word para-professional, I think of somebody who's like a teacher's assistant.
Right.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct, yes.
So there might be in your classrooms, maybe there's 1 or 2 students that needed some extra attention, maybe some one-on-one time.
Yes.
So that would be your focus.
Right. You would study with that child, help them with their homework. If they can't concentrate, you take them to a quiet place. Many different options that the teachers give you to help the students.
Okay.
So I over those many years, I did that. I worked with many students on many different levels, many different grades also. It was an education for me.
I'm curious, back in the early days when you got started in that business, was it allowed to spank?
No.
Even back then,
No.
it was not allowed. Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
All right.
No, you just had to talk it out.
Okay.
You talk to them.
You talk, and you might talk sternly, but
Yeah.
you talk.
And
All right.
if it wasn't in my category to reprimand them severely, we had different teachers, actual teachers that were qualified to work with the students if need be. So I would walk that student to the room where this teacher was, and then they would take over kind of a intervention type thing.
Okay, but you didn't necessarily walk them to the principal's office.
No,
That
no.
in my time, that was the
Right.
place you
Well,
don't want to
we
go.
had other teachers that would take the place of to help the principal because then they'd get too overloaded.
Mhm.
And these teachers were qualified, had their degrees in counseling. They were counselors,
Okay. So-
and they would help the student with whatever dilemma happened because
Yeah.
I was not that qualified.
Okay.
I always called myself the teacher without a degree.
Yeah, but you were a mother. You were qualified to do
Right,
a lot of things.
right.
that-
I had plenty of education being a
Right.
mother also.
Okay, yeah, right. You raised
3 children,
3
yes.
girls?
1 boy, 2 girls.
1 boy, 2 girls. So, how long have you been at Friendship Village?
I have been here 6 years. I
Okay.
moved here January of 2015, and I lived in Park Lane, the Park Lane building, for 5 years,
Mhm.
and I've been over here to Village Place for 1 year.
Okay.
So, and I liked them both. I like
Yeah.
both buildings, both
Yeah.
apartments,
Okay.
very much.
All right, good.
So, it's a good place to live, good place to retire permanently.
Permanently, yeah. I once thought of Friendship Village. I said this at some kind of a gathering. I said, Friendship Village is kind of like a great big house with a whole raft of bedrooms. So you can kind of go and be by yourself if you want to. You can come out your door and mingle with others, and there's always a lot of things to do around here.
And you have your meals together, just like when you were at home.
Yeah, that's right.
We have a dining room. You can go and sit with people and eat with people.
Yeah.
And then you can go back and be in your own space.
Uh-huh.
Do your reading, watch
Yeah.
TV,
Yeah.
do whatever you want to. It's your choice. We have many, many choices here. And that's good. That is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Sometime soon in one of our future broadcasts, we'll have to have the program being sponsored by our activities department because they do a great job. For us.
Fabulous job.
Yeah.
Fabulous job.
Yeah. So, well, listen, we're just about at the we're about at the halfway point of our interview session time. So, I would like to just have us pause and want to just say again that today's program is being brought to you by Maintenance, and once again we certainly appreciate all the good things they do for us, the comforts that they provide for us, and they're prompt to get after projects to do once we get a work order to their attention. And I just like their friendly manner, and it's just fun.
And just recently, with all this snow we've had, they are just on top of it all the time. They're out there pushing that snow around, getting the streets in our unit all cleaned off so that they can melt. They did a fabulous job with that.
Yeah.
And that is when all hands are on deck to get the snow moved.
Right.
Everything else gets put aside,
Mhm.
so they have to do the snow first, so the residents and the buses can have a clear path to do their
Right.
job also.
Yeah. They even remove snow between cars, that are.
Yes, and clean off the cars for
And
us.
clean
too,
off
which
the cars,
we
yeah.
would appreciate too.
So, a shout out to you guys on maintenance and ladies.
We can't say enough.
Yeah, can't say enough good things for you. So,
Right.
appreciate it.
And we do
Yeah.
have one lady.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. She's been around for a long
So
time.
we have to really include her in our group.
You guys and the lady. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Here's a potential word of wisdom. Potential meaning I'm not sure if you'll agree or not. But anyway, it goes like this. Some children are spoiled because no one will spank grandma.
True.
Some children are spoiled because no one will spank grandma. Now, I know there's probably some grandmas out there listening to this. So, all grandmas out there, I want you to raise your hand. Whoa, look at all those hands up in the air. Yeah, okay. So, would you agree that, well, I think that's just a grandma's prerogative, isn't it?
Yes.
To spoil her grandkids?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So, well, let's see. The other thing I just wanted to make a note of again is just to say that we like to think of this as an audience participation program. So, as you go along listening or think about us other times of the day, if you have a comment or a question or anything you'd like to make us aware of, we want to encourage you to just jot it down on a note, give it to your front desk, and they'll give it to us, and we'll incorporate that in our next program as much as we can. And so we just thank you in advance. And somebody might be interested out there. Somebody might be interested in being interviewed on our program. So we'd like to know that too. If you'll just give that signal to the front desk, and we'll just see that it happens. And so let's get back to interviewing.
All right, now it's my turn. I will ask Phil a
Okay.
few questions.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Go.
Are you a Waterloo native?
I am.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Waterloo. Lived on Western Avenue. It's maybe about a mile from here as a crow flies, and so went to Sacred Heart School, Catholic school, and I lived a time in Green Bay, Wisconsin when I was like 3 and 4, but came back in time for kindergarten at Sacred Heart, and so yeah, I consider myself a native Waterlooan. So, and after school, went off to college, went to Loras College in Dubuque, and later on to University of South Dakota with an emphasis on psychology. And that's been my main focus in my work life, is being a psychologist at a community mental health center. And so that's been some interesting times in my life, and some challenges, but many rewards at the same time. So I forgot to mention that just before my last year at Loras College, I got married to my high school sweetheart, Carol, maiden name Bussy. So we started our lives together there in Dubuque for that final year. She worked at a local bank and helped put me through college that final year. So I appreciate that. And so I've been here at Friendship Village, a little less than you have, maybe five and a half years, starting off at Park Lane and then moving over here, I think about a year ago, moved over here to Village Place. And so I enjoy it. A lot of good things to do, a lot of good people to meet and talk to, and
Lots of activities to partake in if you so choose.
yeah.
And we both belong to what we had was our chorus, which was a highlight that we could sing and put on programs.
The Village Voices, yeah.
Yes, we love that, but that has to take a back seat right now. We're
Yeah.
hoping to resume that somewhere in the future, we hope.
Yeah, that's true.
But Phil and I both like music very
Yeah.
much. We're both musicians of some sort.
Right. So yeah, the Village Voices. That was I forgot about that. It's been over a year,
Yeah.
isn't it, since we weren't able to meet together. So yeah, Mary, I look forward to that too in the very near future, when we'll be able to sit down and do some more singing, present a program.
Right.
Yeah. So you might also want to know about me that Carol and I had 2 children, and Chris and Kathy, and so they had their own families, and so I have now 5 grandchildren and 8 great-grandchildren. So
That's pretty good. I'm just expecting my first 2 great-grandchildren this summer.
like twins?
No.
Oh, just 2 different families going
Two
to get.
different families are having babies. 2 women are having babies. One is in New York and one is near Cedar Rapids.
Oh my.
And they're both going to have little boys, one in June and one in July.
Oh.
So I'm very anxious about that. I'm anticipating that.
Okay.
So I have 8 grandchildren altogether.
All right.
But this will be my first 2 great grandchildren.
Oh my. Oh goodness. Did you ever think you'd have this day in your life years ago?
I hoped I would.
Hoped you would, yeah.
I hoped I would.
Yeah.
I hoped I would. That was my focus after I got married, was to have children,
Yeah.
raise children.
Yep.
I love doing that. Plus having to work with my husband also. He was a grocer to begin with. We ran grocery stores for many, many years before I ever went to the school system.
Oh, really?
Yes.
A big one like Piggly Wiggly, or no?
No.
I mean,
we had a small one in a little town south of Webster City, and then we went to a bigger one in northwest Iowa, a little town named Hartley, Iowa, and it was a bigger store. And I told a story at my table at noon today
okay.
that my husband would buy gifts for the staff from every year, like at Christmas time.
Oh.
And our store was called Jean's Foodland, and the colors were red and white.
That's your husband, Gene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my husband's name was Gene.
Gene's
And it was
Foodland.
Jean's Foodland. And so one year he ordered red stocking caps with the words in white, Jean's Foodland, and gave everybody a red stocking cap.
Real.
And to this day, there are few of those stocking caps still around
Oh.
after many, many years. My son-in-law especially uses his to push snow. It's pretty well worn, but he grabs that stocking cap, puts it on,
My
and
goodness.
goes out and pushes snow.
Do you have one yourself?
No, I do not have one. I
okay.
had a jacket. I had a Jeans Foodland jacket, but I think I gave that to a family member also.
Mm.
So I have a baseball cap that says Jeans Foodland. I still have that.
Okay.
Can wear that in the summer when I go out and it's sunshiny.
Gene liked to get the word out, huh? About
Yes.
the grocery store.
Yes,
Okay.
advertising.
Yeah.
Advertising is what gets you a lot of things.
Mhm.
A lot of things. And he believed in advertising, whether it's in the newspaper or word of mouth
Okay.
or by giving away things. He had a lot of things personalized. We gave calendars away, pens, all kinds of things
Mm-hmm.
that signified that we had this grocery store.
Okay.
So,
Do you miss those good old days?
not the grocery store.
Oh, not the.
It was hard labor.
Oh.
Really, really hard. It was a family-run store. Our kids all worked in the store, were raised in the store, and we educated them through the store.
Uh-huh.
So by running
Okay.
that store, we were able to put them through college.
Oh,
So-
okay. Excellent.
Yes. So it was 24 years of very hard work, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So when he sold the store,
Yeah.
we sold the store, and I went to work at the school system. He continued on for the new owners as a butcher. That was his field, was cutting
Okay.
meat. So he was a butcher. So
You didn't. So you didn't start your para
till after we sold the grocery store.
till after the grocery
Yes.
store. Okay.
That was later.
All right.
You know, I was in my 50s then.
Okay.
So,
So your kids were probably almost grown.
oh yeah,
by
they
then.
were gone. They had been to
Yeah.
college. They had their own lives then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Okay.
were married, starting to have some children,
Yeah.
and it gave me more free time to spend with grandchildren because I worked while the kids were in school, and when they were
Yeah.
off, I was off.
And
So
you
I
got you got vacations off the same
Yes,
time.
I had
and
summer
stuff like
times
that.
off. I had,
Summer times.
It was a good way to have a job and still have free
Yeah.
time for my family.
You know, I have a brother who lives in Iowa City, and he retired as a social worker, but he didn't quite want to stop working, so he found himself a job as a para teacher, maybe
Paraprofessional.
paraprofessional with a school system in Iowa City, with a special ed classroom.
I did that
So,
too.
so he has many interesting stories to tell.
Oh yeah,
about
there's more interesting stories probably at the school than there was at the grocery store.
yeah. So, oh my.
So we both had good careers.
Right. We both had good careers. Yes. Right at the end of my time working as a psychologist, the mental health center place I worked at dissolved, but it was going to start up again. So it was time for my retirement anyway. So I was glad kind of that it was over. But then they came back and they after they reestablished as a new kind of entity, they invited me to consider coming back to be a Christian counselor, part-time. So I thought just a little bit about it, and then I thought, oh, that sounds like could be interesting. So I went back working like a couple afternoons a week as a Christian counselor. So everybody who came to request talking with me, I knew they wanted kind of a Christian emphasis in what we talked about. So I found that really rewarding.
And I also found that living here at Friendship Village, they have offered many opportunities that I could carry through my love of the school system and the children by going to the schools through a program here at the village that we could do reading with some of the students. So we have been to 2 or 3 of the elementary schools here, and we read with the second grade, third grade, those grades in there. They read to us.
They read it to you,
They
okay.
assign students and they read to us.
And
we
if
would
they
just-
if they kind of get a block at a word or something, you can help them out.
Yes,
Is that
yes,
okay?
that's what we're there for, to help them.
Okay.
Learn words, and sometimes they have a little notebook that they write the hard words down so that they can remember them and
Hmm.
learn about them, look them up.
Now, do these students volunteer for this kind of thing, or do they?
No, the teacher. We work with the teachers.
She picks
and
out.
she picks the students that would
Okay.
be good, that might need a little assistance in reading,
Okay.
and that enjoy reading, and that it isn't hard for them.
Mhm.
So I've enjoyed doing that, but of course that had to come to a halt also when we had to quit doing that. We
Yeah.
couldn't start that up this year.
And the schools closed for a while. Yeah.
Right, right.
Well, now another part of that, I remember some of you talking about. Didn't you exchange letters? with
Yes,
some
we
of the
also
students?
there's also a pen pal program.
Pen pal.
We did it through here, and now the Cedar Valley Volunteerism has some of us on their list, and they send us a letter. Would we like to be a pen pal? And I signed up for that
Oh.
this year. I have a little girl that
Mhm.
I exchange letters with, and we write the letter, send it to the volunteer program. They give it to the student. The student writes a letter, sends it back to the volunteer program, and they give it to us. So there's no exchange of letters between myself and the student.
directly. Okay.
They want to handle it that way, that's fine. And now there's a program coming up through one of our activities coordinators that we can be a pen pal to a UNI college student. And
Really?
I signed up for
Really?
that, so I will see what the outcome will be. Although this year is going to be over soon,
Yeah.
you know, it's coming to an end, but maybe we'll carry it on and start again in the fall.
UNI students.
Yes, a
What?
UNI student. It was in the
Oh,
Vibes.
that's-
It was in our Vibes program. And so I called and put my name on the list for that. Anything that I can do to connect with students or children, I will do.
There you are. Now, were you also a volunteer over at the It Takes a Village?
Yes, I went over to the daycare when they opened that up for grandmas and grandpas to come over there and help with the children.
Okay.
I went on my own time. When I had some free time, I would call and say, "Can I come over?" And they, "Oh yeah," they welcome you with open arms. And I would go to the room where the babies were, and I would rock babies,
Oh.
play with babies, and just entertain babies. That's mostly what I was in, was that room.
Okay.
A lot of them went to the other rooms and they played games with them. They went to their gym and played games, or they would draw pictures, or they would paint, or do many activities with them. The daycare people,
Yeah.
staff had it lined up for the grandmas and grandpas to come and do that.
Oh,
And you
neat.
were welcome anytime that they were there.
Yeah. Hey, that might be starting up again
I
soon.
hope so. I
Yeah.
hope it does. Everybody's anxious to get back over there
Oh,
and
I
see
bet.
those little kids. So
Oh,
that's a
my,
very,
Mary.
very rewarding program.
Mary, I just noticed the time. We're kind of running towards the end. So we better get ourselves ready to sign off for this episode. And any more words of wisdom you'd like to share before we go off? She's looking over her notes.
Yes, I've written some notes. Here's one short one.
Okay.
Be brave to stand for what you believe, even if you have to stand alone.
Alone.
So if you believe in something, stand up for it, even if you're the only one.
Okay.
But I think others would join you.
Yeah. Here at Friendship Village,
I hope so.
somebody would join you.
I hope
Let
so.
me share a final word of wisdom here. It says, people may forget what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
That's a good one.
Yeah. They might forget the words you said to them, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
And we hope it's in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, words are so important. And
What you say is very important.
what you say is very important.
People will remember what you say.
Hey, that sounds like a topic for another good radio program.
Right. We'll get many topics here.
So we're ready to sign off here, and we sure hope you've enjoyed our inaugural radio podcast. And stay tuned; others are coming your way. And so we're going to sign off for now. Say goodbye, Mary.
Goodbye, Phil.
Goodbye, Mary. See you later. Bye.